Good morning and welcome to this special telecast. If there are Oscars for films, there is the Emmy Award for the World Television Festival. 51st Emmy Awards and Indian presence clearly marked itself big. I'm Pooja Shali and with me in the studios this morning is Rasna Bhasin. She's our in-house expert. She's the editor for Harper's Bazaar. So clearly the face for whether it's glamour, it's lifestyle, it's luxury reporting, all of that is done with the Harper's Bazaar. But joining us also is Sonal Ved from our Mumbai studio. Sonal Ved is the group digital editor. So she has complete hold and clout on what's been happening across the world, across the country, again in luxury and lifestyle. I welcome both you ladies this morning. Let's begin first with why and specifically for the reason for this special telecast. And that is, it is the big victory for India at the International Emmy Awards 2023. Comedian Veer Das has won the Emmy Award for the Netflix special Veer Das Landing. It's a comedy special that has been a tie with British sitcom Derry Girls to win the award in the comedy category. Filmmaker Ektaa Kapoor also was honoured with the Directorate Award for her impact on the Indian television landscape. Ektaa Kapoor visibly was emotional, overwhelmed, spoke exclusively to India Today television and dedicated the award to the country. But it was a heartbreak also, and heartbreak was for the talented actor Shefali Shah for being nominated though as the Best Actress in Delhi Crime Season 2. But the award was won by Carla Souza, who won the coveted International Emmy for her stellar performance in La Cara Dive in the Best Actress category. Shefali had been nominated for her convincing portrayal of DCP Vartika. But it was, as you can see, those who won the award, those who lost, but it was the grand Indian presence on a global stage.
We've got Emmy home.
We're not home yet, but this is an Indian Emmy for India, for Indian comedy. So I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just very happy to be here. I'm very grateful to everyone who got me here from India. So.
Veer, what was that moment when you were, stepping up those stairs and, you were on the stage receiving this award? What was going on in your mind?
I was just happy to be at the Netflix table. They started my career, and Netflix are the people who kind of send me across the world. I was with Shefali, who I think is probably one of the greatest actors of a generation. So, like I said, I was just surrounded by people who I respect and love, Shefali and Netflix. So.
And this was your second time nomination, right?
Yeah, it was, yes. I think it's best if I just confirm facts and you do most of the talking, because I'm a little shaky, yeah.
You're making me shaky right now because I'm also nervous because...
I apologize.
No.
My big thought is, do I check this in or do I take it hand luggage? Because how will I get through JFK with this? I don't know. But I want to bring it home to my family and my country.
Is it heavy?
Would you like to lift it?
Yeah, of course.
If you drop it, I will...
No.
I'm just going to put my hands below it. There you go.
Yeah, so guys, it's quite heavy and Veer has got Emmys home.
Yeah, like I said, I can't wait to land in India, and I can't wait to show this to people just my family, and I just want to take this home. Every word that I write is for India, so they deserve this as much as I do.
Veer, what's next for you after Emmy?
I'm gonna eat some pizza right now, I think, or maybe we'll get some kati rolls. I don't know what will happen. So yeah.
Remember that Veer Das is a man of many words, but this morning he's the man of few words. And let's go across to Sonal and Rasna, who continue to be with us. Sonal, as a group digital editor, you clearly know about how digital is the way to go this time. It's all about the OTT platform, and what an incredible Indian presence. Veer Das winning big, so is Ektaa Kapoor. Then there is also, of course, even though heartbreak, but Shefali Shah and Sarbh. What does one make of this Indian presence on such a global stage?
I think we all should admit that after what happened on Sunday, we did need like a little bit of victory to cheer ourselves up again, and Veer has done it. And I think I just read his interview, and he said about how content is content and comedy is comedy, and it doesn't matter whether it's Indian or whether it's international. The fact that comedy is such a good vehicle to transport you to any culture is what I think got him there. The fact that he doesn't look at it as South Asian comedy or American comedy, he just looks at humor, cultural humor as humor, and that's what has got him this Emmy. So I am very proud, and I am supremely excited for the fact that he's bringing it back home. And this is, I think, reflective in all. I mean, post-pandemic, we've become so accepting of content from other cultures, whether it's the popularity of Korean drama in India or whether it's the popularity of Pakistani dramas. We've just become accepting of cultures and what they bring to the table, and his victory is just a reflection of that.
Well, that's actually true. It's had this global atmosphere of the OTT platform come on one, and that's what has exposed a lot of Indians to what's been happening across the world. Stay on with me, Sonal and Rasna, because here it's important to also know that it's not just Veer Das, but also Ektaa Kapoor. And I want to read out what the CEO and the Academy President said when she was being honored with the Directorate Award. Built Balaji into one of India's foremost entertainment players, market leadership in TV content and the influence of long-running series. And then she said, I'm delighted to receive the prestigious Emmy. It's a global honor, and it is primarily for India. Listen in now to what Ektaa Kapoor said. The first reaction to India Today Television's Dipali Patel, who's in New York. Here's what Ektaa Kapoor said to her.
Joining me at the International Emmy Awards is Ektaa Kapoor, who has just received an Emmy Award for her remarkable career and, of course, a contribution in the Indian television film industry. Ektaa, many, many congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm honored and elated.
We have finally brought the Emmys home.
This is for you, India. This is your Emmy.
What was that moment when you were walking up that stage, and what was your thought process during that time?
I just knew one thing, that I was going to go up on stage. If I look at the monitor, I'll get lost. So I kept the monitor, but I didn't look once, also the teleprompter, and I spoke from my heart.
And when you spoke, you literally made me also emotional.
See, we Indians, we've had to fight for our place in the sun. And finally we're getting it. So this is for my country. I humanized her on stage because I really feel all Indian women are shades of India.
You know, Ektaa, you have now become the first Indian filmmaker and producer to win an Emmy Award. How does that feel, and what does that mean to you personally?
It's a huge responsibility. I'm hoping to take it forward in the right way, but at this present moment I'm overwhelmed, and I'm just waiting to take the Emmy home. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
And remember, these awards are as much about talent, of course. It's also about glamour. You're looking at the visuals on your screen. In their best dress, Shefali Shah, Jim Sarbh, Veer Das, and I want to bring in Rasna and Sonal in on that. Rasna, let's talk about the wardrobe choices. It is a big day. All of us want to plan our best clothes on a special day. But when we talk about Shefali Shah, opting to go traditional, so did Veer Das. And I also found very interesting what both Ektaa Kapoor and Jim Sarbh were wearing. So tell us about what do you think about the attires that they've chosen?
Honestly, firstly, it's such a big moment that they're bringing an Emmy to India. Just the fact that they're nominated and they're putting us out on a global stage, I feel OTT has become such an integral part of India. And with all our actors embracing the OTT screen, it's quite commendable to see this. And as Sonal said, it was a big victory for us after the Sunday. And I think it's personally, I think we take it too critically, but just being out there, being representing our country and having this moment for themselves and their art is such a big celebration in itself. I loved what Shefali did. Shefali opted for a very simple, clean sari. It's by a Delhi-based designer called Karan Torani. And I loved how it symbolizes the colors beautiful. It falls beautifully on her. She's taken the simple drape. And I think she looks absolutely elegant. I mean, like a sari never goes wrong, right?
That's true.
So it's classic, it's perfect. And I feel like the color sits beautifully on her. And I feel like Veer's also wearing a sort of an Indian sherwani. And while I'm not sure who he is wearing, but I feel it's something he's representing us all out there. The good thing is that Indians are representing for other Indians out there on the red carpet. It takes a moment. Yesterday, actually, Jim was in a beautiful Rahul Mishra. I thought for the gala dinner, he had a very, very impactful look. Even today, he looks as glamorous as ever. Jim is always eclectic. And that's what we're looking
He
at.
actually is. His choices for his wardrobe are always very interesting.
Yeah, he's always eclectic and there's always an element of fun. And there's a flair for drama with Jim. So we see that again today with his big bow shirt inside and his double-breasted suit. And even with Ektaa, I feel it's such a happy color. It looks really nice. It's an Indian attire. And she's out there celebrating, I think, whatever they're comfortable in, and the big smiles is what that matters.
And Ekta has always been unapologetic about the kind of clothes she's worn, and she flaunts them beautifully. She carries it well. Sonal, over to you about the choices that have been made with regard to what they have decided to wear. It's, of course, a big day. A lot of thought does go into it. But like Rasna is also saying, there is their personality too, that's reflected. But opting to go Indian, specifically Shefali Shah, I notice is fairly simple. She's not gone over the top. Neither of them actually has. And yet they have sent out a beautiful message with their choices.
I think, what Rasna said, that it's nice to see them carry on the work of other Indians on such a global map. The fact that she's chosen a Delhi-based designer. Even the day before, Shefali is seen wearing this Banarasi skirt. And I think taking Indian textiles, Indian fabrics, taking Indian cuts, silhouettes on an international scale is a big deal. It's a proud moment for us, for the fashion industry. And, I'm very actually impressed with Ektaa wearing what I would say is the national color of the season, at least, which is the Laddu Pila color. She's wearing this butterfly silhouette and all of that. So I thought it was an interesting choice. I actually quite enjoyed what they wore for the panel. She wore this beautiful, almost Wednesday-like net skirt and like a tucked-in white shirt and boots, which was, I think, very New York. And Ekta was pulling that off beautifully. But, beyond all of this, I think what matters is the fact that they're there not for their fashion choices as much as for the talent that they bring to the table. And I think that makes me really proud more than anything else. But I do think Jim Sarbh is one of the best dressed amongst the Indians that are out there.
Let's talk about Jim Sarbh for a moment, because he may have missed out on the award and there's always a next time. There was a next time this time for V. Das. But like we're talking about those choices, the sort of clothes that he does wear, like you're talking about the eclectic nature, that also is about his personality, even in the kind of shows that he's chosen, whether it's Rocket Boys that was nominated here. It's the kind of choices that make him stand out than the rest of the actors in the fraternity, isn't it?
It is. Jim's always the best dressed man in the room, if I may say so myself. He's always had this, like I said, an eclectic dressing sense. And what I enjoy about him is he really enjoys what he wears. So it's out there, he's confident, he's happy to add a bit of drama to it. He's always happy to experiment. So like you said, even in his choices of his OTT performances or the kind of roles he picks up, whether it was him in Made in Heaven playing a Delhi rich spoiled brat, to playing in Rocket Boys too, and again even for what he did in Padmavat, in that sense. So in those sense, you've seen the eclectic choices of roles that he picks out.
And willing to take that risk.
He's willing to take that risk. He puts in a lot of effort, I feel, when he's doing a performance, and even when he's out there on the red carpet or he's at a magazine shoot, we've had some wonderful moments created with him, and I feel that's his personality.
How is he on the set? How is he when
he's
you
fun.
do
He's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun.
No tantrums.
No tantrums at all. Super easy, super chill, and always ready to experiment. So he's somebody I think the designers in India especially love. And the fact is that he's ready to take it out there and represent all of them out there.
Let's talk about, Sonal, about the pressure that's involved. You speak to celebrities all the time. For a big moment like this, it may be win or lose. But to be able to representing your country, and clearly it's a platform where Indian presence is increasingly getting acknowledged, noticed, specifically for the OTT platform. Do you think how you look, what you say, how you present yourself, that there may be a PR team behind them, the stylist team as well, but there is a lot resting on your shoulders too?
I think the way you present yourself on an international platform is also going to have so much of give back, right? Like you're being watched on a global platform, the kind of roles you're going to be offered after, whether you win or lose. I think Indians are pretty forgiving. I think the way we reacted on Sunday was it made me feel proud, the fact that we still cheered, no matter which direction we went. So I think in that sense, even if Jim per se didn't make it, I think we're very proud of him to have at least got us there on that global map. And The pressure is, of course, high, but I think they're doing a good job in representing India in the right kind of space. They're as international. They look like they're global citizens.
True.
They're wearing their culture proudly on their sleeves. So I think in that sense, it's looking very balanced to me, at least the way the 3-4 people that are there out there right now are representing themselves. In fact, I would even count Deepak Chopra, who's one of the presenters. This year, he's wearing his Indian clothes quite proudly.
And as we continue to have more images on the screen of what they were wearing, how they were presenting themselves, Veer Das didn't have a lot of words to say, and now we're looking at Ektaa Kapoor's choice of wardrobe as well. Again, it's very interesting, very different from how usually they would choose. But Rasna, do tell me about this. When the celebrities decide what to wear, and I see how Shefali has also gone fairly simple. It is a big moment. Is sari still a conversation starter in the international circuit? Is it still something that is seen as exotic, or is it getting picked up more by celebrities in various formats?
Honestly, I think the sari has evolved so much in the world. I mean, from designers like Rick Owens to Christian Dior have had their own versions of the sari. And sari is just such a great representation, right? It is a classic 6 yards that can be worn in so many, and it can be draped beautifully. It also brings out the drapery of India, right? So, like, I was recently with designer Tarun Tilyani, and he said if you looked back 200 years, you could, if you landed in a parachute in India, you could actually make out the place from the drape of the sari. Wow. It could have been a simple muslin cloth from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, but it's the way it's draped, right? So that's sari for us, right? And a sari is always recognized worldwide. Everybody, I think it's so graceful. It's always elegant. It looks great.
It hides all your flaws. It accentuates the best.
I won't say it hides all your flaws, but I think it just drapes beautifully on everybody, and everybody just gets to carry it so well. It's a silhouette that works well for everybody. And even like men, like, you know, men have worn sari in like the dhoti form. So it's something that has always been out there. It's a big part of our culture, and it's great representation. I love what Shefali chose.
Yes.
It makes an impact out there. She's enjoying herself.
And you know, it's not just about what, of course, they're wearing here. A quick comment and a closing comment from Sonal. Any of the OTT series that you liked where it was as much about what the show was about, but also what they wore? Because a lot of it today are conversations about the fashion in these OTT series platforms.
I think 2 shows for sure, and both were nominations. And one is Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes, of course.
That's won several Emmys. And Wednesday, I think for both these shows, fashion was such an integral part of the plot. And if I'm not mistaken, both of them, most of the outfits were not sourced by the stylist, but they were custom made for the show, for the era that they were representing. So the whole journey of the character through their fashion choices evolves as the plot evolves. So I think those 2 for me rank super high in terms of the representation of fashion that they're putting out there.
I appreciate you joining us this morning, Sonal Ved and Rasna Bhasin, for giving us an understanding of what goes behind the scenes and what this moment really is for the Indian presence. Thank you so much for joining us. And it's, of course, through the morning, we'll continue to bring you more interviews and snippets from the 51st International Emmy Awards. Stay tuned to India Today Television. Thank you for watching this special segment.